Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 video games that need to be remade. Yes, I'm not always for remakes when it comes to certain things, especially movies, but video games remakes sometimes are inevitable and sometimes they just need an update. Especially what they did with like Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, or what they did with the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, or what they did with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, or what they did with the Final Fantasy VII remake. Those are spectacular remakes. Absolutely incredible. And some video games, just like older video games that are just so good, they're just classics, but if they just did the games again with like modern visuals and modern technology, put them on the Xbox Series X or the Nintendo Switch or PS5, I think it would be amazing and incredible to play these older games as a complete remake. Not a remastered. Not a remastered. I know everyone's like, well, they do remaster some games. It's not the same. Sometimes a remaster is just like a polish. They like polish some things up, polish some of the worlds, and maybe some of the faces of the characters and everything. It is not a straight remake. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII, those are straight remakes. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, those are remakes. And yeah, Resident Evil 2 is a great remake, by the way. Check that out. But yeah, these are 10 video games I would love to see a full-blown remake of. So let's get to it. Coming in number 10 is Jak and Daxter. Very first Jak and Daxter. Yeah, Jak 2 and 3 can come, but I want to start with the first one. First one, Jak and Daxter, the precursor orb. This is so good. I love the Jak and Daxter games. They're great platformers. They're great action-adventure games. And just I love the character of Jak and his sidekick Daxter. And just I have a lot of fond childhood memories playing the Jak and Daxter games. And I would just love to see like a Jak and Daxter game with like those like Crash Bandicoot visuals and stuff. I think that would just be badass. I think everybody would love to see it. I know this is never gonna happen by Naughty Dog, but maybe if like Toys for Bob got it, I think it could really work. So Jak and Daxter, most definitely. All right, coming at number 9 is Final Fantasy IX. Yes, there has been rumors and speculations that they're going to be remaking Final Fantasy IX, but that is just rumors and speculation. I want to see it happen. Final Fantasy IX is a terrific Final Fantasy game, and I love the story of Zidane and Steiner and Vivi and this adventure they go on. It is such a unique and just whimsical adventure, and just I love the villain, I love the side characters, I love the quests, and just it is such a great journey you embark on in Final Fantasy IX, and just what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they put that into a Final Fantasy IX, especially the style Final Fantasy IX has, it would be incredible. Absolutely incredible, and I'd love to see a full-blown remake of Final Fantasy IX. So yeah, I know, again, there's rumors, there's speculation that it's going to happen, but nothing official yet. But I'm officially saying I want it to happen. So, Final Fantasy IX. Number 8 is Crash Bash. Crash Bash is one of those like side Crash Bandicoot games, and they did Crash 1, 2, and 3, and they did Crash Team Racing, so I love to see a Crash Bash remake, because Crash Bash is a game I thoroughly enjoy. I think it is a super underrated video game, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just a Crash Bandicoot game, playing a bunch of mini games, and just having a blast, having a good time with these characters, and it's just this tournament game. There's not really much of a story, it's just a straight tournament game, good versus evil. You can pick the good side or the bad side, and you just play a shit ton of mini games. It's almost like a Mario Party kind of thing, and it's a blast. It's a blast to play. And I just love to see a Crash Bash. If just Crash Bash came on the PS4 or PS5, I would love to just play it again. But if they did a remake of Crash Bash, again, with those Crash Bandicoot visuals, I'd be one happy camper. But yeah, Crash Bash. Number 7 is Metal Gear Solid. Very first, Metal Gear Solid. Start off with the first one. If it does good, keep going with it. Metal Gear Solid, the first one, is a great game. And I would love to see just a full-blown remake of that. Like, it would be so cool. And I think they should update, like, its, like, control settings, because I always thought the control settings for Metal Gear Solid were a little complicated. They got a lot more easier as the games and franchise kept going. If they put it more of like a first-person maybe not the first-person shooter, the third-person shooter game, I think the game would be a lot better and a lot more of a selling point. And I'd love to see like a Metal Gear Solid the first one with that Metal Gear Solid 5 visuals and stuff. And I love to see what they do with like Liquid Snake and Solid Snake and Psycho Mantis and all that stuff, especially with Psycho Mantis now in our era. Like, there's a scene. Psycho Mantis like hacks into the memory card and reads your file. Like this one, he can like hack into your profile. It just the ideas you can do for a remake for the first Metal Gear Solid would be just incredible, incredible. And a lot of people haven't played Metal Gear Solid, especially the first one, because the visuals are just so dated and stuff. So bring Metal Gear Solid to a new generation and remake that game ASAP. Number 6 is Final Fantasy 6. This is another one that just needs to be remade, especially like in this modern era. Like Final Fantasy 6 is now considered like a cult classic. It's a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasies now, and it does have that like old school text, and it's got that old school style of RPGs and stuff. And not until like Final Fantasy 7, like the JRPGs were just like expanded, and the character designs looked more grand and better and stuff. Final Fantasy 6 was like the end of the era of like those like weird shaped characters in JRPGs. I think if you can play RPGs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'd love to just see a straight remake of Final Fantasy 6. I think the story is so good. It's got great twists and turns. There's just so many characters. What they would look like in this modern era would just be amazing. It'd just be an epic story, and I would just love it. Just make it. Number 5 is Simpsons Hit and Run. There's talks of this also being a thing. There's people trying to make this happen, a Simpsons Hit and Run remake. I would love that. Simpsons Hit and Run is a great PS2 game. It's almost like GTA, but you're playing as Simpsons characters. That just sounds incredible and just sounds hilarious. It just sounds cool to play. And I think they should do this. I think Simpsons has still got a huge fan base, especially now because of Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus, and just I love the Simpsons. And there's never been a lot of great Simpsons video games, but Simpsons Hit and Run is like that one gem that's actually pretty good. So a remake of Simpsons Hit and Run would just be awesome. Yeah, just make it GTA 5, but with Simpsons characters. That's what we all want. Number 4 is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. One of the best Zelda games ever. This, Breath of the Wild, and Twilight Princess are the greatest Zelda games ever made. Ocarina of Time is so fantastic. Such a beautiful story. Such a great ending. Some of the best action in all of the Zelda games. And just, I love Ocarina of Time. And if they made Ocarina of Time with the visual style of Breath of the Wild, like, come on, man. This is just nerdgasm right here. This is so good, man. Like, that would be incredible. And just don't change anything. I don't want them to change the feel of it, the atmosphere of it, the controls, or anything like that, the weapons. I don't want them to change a thing. Just make Ocarina of Time again, but with the Breath of the Wild style visuals. That's all I want. Number 3, I'm just cheating. I'm going with the whole Sly Cooper franchise. The reason is I've never played the Sly Cooper games. Never once. And I can't play them because I do not have a PS3. And they're not available to play for PS4 unless you stream it on PS Now. I would love to see just a full-blown like remake, again, Crash Bandicoot style, of all the Sly Cooper games on PS4/PS5. I've never played the Sly Cooper games. Everybody tells me to play them, and that's why I want them to be remade this bad, so I can play them. They sound awesome. I want to play them. Number 2 is one of the best RPGs ever made, and that's Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger came out in the 90s, and this game was just forgotten because everybody was talking about Final Fantasy. Like, Star Ocean and Final Fantasy were the only JRPGs anyone was talking about. Maybe Tales of Destiny as well, but mostly Star Ocean, Final Fantasy. Everyone was just talking about those franchises. Nobody really talked about Chrono Trigger. Not until like the late 2000s, maybe 2010s, it got like this following. Everyone's like, Chrono Trigger, come on, Chrono Trigger is one of the best RPGs. Everyone's like, what the fuck is Chrono Trigger? And now it's like a loved game, especially by the video game community. I would love to see a Chrono Trigger again with that Final Fantasy VII remake style visuals. Imagine making a Chrono Trigger game right now with the technology they have. That would be incredible. Chrono Trigger is a story people need to know. People need to play this epic story. Chrono Trigger. If you haven't played for the PS1, definitely play it. But definitely remake it, though. Number one is the most underrated video game ever. It is also a JRPG, and that is The Legend of Dragoon. The Legend of Dragoon is a game no one I can't heard of. Like, Chrono Trigger is a very underrated game, but The Legend of Dragoon is the most underrated game ever made. This Nobody knows about this game unless you're a huge RPG fan, and just no one talks about it. Nobody talks about The Legend of Dragoon. And this video game is incredible. It's got a great story. It's got great characters. It's the most epic game you'll ever play. It's got dragons, monsters, winglies. It's got moon gods. It's got it all. It's just a great game. I'd say to update it, maybe change the fighting style a little bit. Because the fighting style, as much as I enjoyed it, it's very difficult to handle. So if they like remade a Legend of Dragoon, just do it like Final Fantasy VII remake style, and yeah, I think this game would be amazing. And I think if they remade it and they put it out now, I think people would love it, and they'd be like, "Wow, why did no one ever talk about this game when it came out in the '90s?" Exactly. Legend of Dragoon, one of the most underrated video games. It needs a remake. So yeah, that's my top 10 video games that need to be remade ASAP. So in the comment section below, please tell me, would you agree with this top 10 list? If not, give me your guys' top 10 video games that need to be remade. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.